again, in thunder, lightning, or in rain.
When the hurly-burly's dying, when the battle's lost and won.
Keep fighting, boys! March now!
That'll be the heir to set the sun.
Where the place?
Aboard the hay.
There to meet with Macbeth. I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock, come.
I'm not. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
The king approaches! This is the noble Ross, who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought against my captivity. Say to the king your knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it. Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers, Macbeth and Banquo,
Macbeth and Banquo!
that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature. Scorn them! Niles of cairns and gallglasses is supplied, and fortune on his damned hoary smiling shows like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak for brave Macbeth. Well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel. Which smoked with bloody execution like valor's minion carved out his passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
O valiant cousin, worthy gentlemen!
As once the sun gains his reflection, shipwrecking storms and direful thunders, so from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort flows! Mark, King of Scotland, mark! No sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping cairns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo?
Yes, as eagle sparrows of the hair of the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. Except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds or memorize another Golgotha, I cannot tell. Norway himself, with most terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that noble Macbeth, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons. Point against point, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit, and to conclude, the victory fell on us.
Great happiness! No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
It shall be done.
When he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
Sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Whoa! Give me, quoth I. All right, thee witch! The rook that run you cried. Her husband's to Aleppo go. Master of the tiger. But to the sieve, I'll tether sail, and like a rat without a tail, I'll do.
I'll give thee a wind.
Thou'rt kind. Was I another? He shall live, a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, 9 times 9, shall he dwindle, peak, and purr. And though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest-tossed. Look what I have!
Show me!
Here I have a pilot's thumb. Rectus homeward he did come.
A drum! Macbeth doth come!
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land. Thus you go about, thrice to thine, and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace! The charm's wound up.
So foul and fair a day I have not seen.
How far is its call to forest? Oh, what are these? So withered and so wild in their attire that they look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on it. Live you, or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me. By each at once, her choppy fingers lying upon her skinny lips. You should be women, and yet your mask forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak, if you can. What are you?
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis.
All hail, Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
All hail, Macbeth. Thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or does indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, you speak with present grace and great predictions of noble having and of royal hope that he seems wrapped withal. To me, you speak not. If you can look into the seas of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me who neither bags nor fears your favors nor your hate.
Hail,
Hail,
hail, lesser than Macbeth and greater.
not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay! You imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Finnell's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives. A prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief. Say from which you owe this strange intelligence, or why, upon this blasted heath, you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak! I charge you!
The earth have bubbles as the water has, and these are of them without advantage.
Into the air, and what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind.
Would they had stayed with these things here that we do speak about, or have we eaten of the insane root that draws the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too. Were it not so?
With the self-same tone and words. Who's down?
The news of thy success, as thick as tally, came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and poured them down before him.
We are sent to give thee from our royal master's thanks, to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And for an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me, from him, call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which edition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy burden lives that life which he deserves to lose. Treason's capital have confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them?
That, trusted home, might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes winneth to our harm. The instruments of darkness tells us truth, win us with honest trifles into betrays and deepest consequence. Cousins, a word I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my sated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is but what is not.
Look how our partners wrapped.
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir.
New honors come upon him like strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of youth.
Come what, come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor, or not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owned, as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Only I have left to say, more is thy due, than more than all can pay.
The service and loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should, by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. Let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, The harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest to know, we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland.
Hail, Malcolm, Prince of Cumberland.
Which honor must, not unaccompanied, invest him only. But nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you. The Prince of Cumberland. That is a step on which I must fall down, or else sore leap. For in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye, wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full, so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him. His care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in a day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me. And referred me to the coming on of time with, "Hail, King, that shalt be."
Hail, Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what is promised thee. Lay it at thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wast highly, that thou wast holily. Hie thee hither, that I might pour my spirits into thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid does seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true. The Thane is coming. One of my men had the speed of him.
Give him tending. He brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast, and take my milk for gall. You murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substance you wait on nature's mischief. Come night, and pour thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peek through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold! Hold! Great, glamorous, worthy, called all, greater than both, by the all hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And one goes hence.
Tomorrow as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun the morrow see. Your face, my fane, is as a book, where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put the night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear to alter favor, ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the tippy-hunting martlet does approve. I have observed. The air is delicate.
See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God yield us for your pain and thank us for your trouble.
All our service, and every point twice done, and then done double, we're poor and single business, to contend against those honors, deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house, for those of old, and the late dignities heaped up on them. We rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him home before us. Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly. Huzzah! So continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done, when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poison chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strung both against the deed. Then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow this horrid deed in every eye. The tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which leaps itself and falls on the other. Now, what news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for me?
No, do not. He has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk, wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale in what it did so freely? From this time, shall I count thy love?
Hey!
Art thou afeared to be the same in thy own acts and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have without us esteem the ornament of life, and live a coward in thy own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the attic?
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves. And that, their fitness now, does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it's smiling in my face, have plucked the nipple from his boneless gums and dashed his brains out, had I so sworn, as you have done to this.
If we should fail.
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place, and we will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, which the rather his day's long journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the water of the brain, shall be a fume, the receipt of reason, a limbeck only. When a swine is asleep, their wretched natures lies as in death. What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? Why not put upon his spongy officers, who will bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, and used their very daggers, that they have done it?
Who shall receive it other, when we shall make our griefs and clamors roar upon his death?
I am settled, and bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away. And mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide, but the false heart doth know.
Worthy Cawdor!
The king!
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I have not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12.
I'll take it this later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. The candles are all out. Take thee that. 2. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I will not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
A friend.
What, sir? Not yet at rest. The king's abed. He has been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your work withal, but a most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought?
All's well. Go on. I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters. To you, they have shown some truth.
I think not of them. Yet, when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business. If you will grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchise and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good. Repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The likes to you.
Go. Bid thy mistress. When my drink is ready, she strike upon the bell. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle toward my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not. Yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain? I see thee yet, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blades and dozen gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. Now, o'er the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offering, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel the wolf, whose howls his watch, thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps, which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout. And take the present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives, words to the heat of deeds to cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a nail that summons thee to heaven. Or to hell!
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. That which hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked, the fatal bellman which gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the suffered guards do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, and death and nature do contend about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What ho?
Alack, They are awake and 'tis not done. The attempt, not the deed, confounds us. Hark! I laid the daggers ready, he could not miss them. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I had done it. My husband.
I have done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl shriek and the cricket cry, did not to speak.
When?
Now!
It's like the sun!
Aye!
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Donalbain.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
As one did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. That they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, but they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
They are two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us, and amen the other, as they had seen me with these hangman's hands, listening their fear. I cannot say amen, but they did say, God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore cannot I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing, and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep, sleep that knits up the raveled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life, sore laborer's bath, balm of hurt mind, great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more. Glameth hath murdered sleep, therefore Cawdor shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? My worthy lord, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash the filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring the daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them, and smear the sleeping grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I am afraid to think what I have done. Look on it again. I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood to fear a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands are here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood clean from my hand? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas and Cornadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! More knocking. Get on your nightgown, lest occasion call and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed, for best not know myself. Wake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
pride. If a man were put of Hell's Gate, he'd have all to decay. Ah, he'd be turning the key, going in and out. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer who hangs himself on the expectations of plenty. Come in time, have your napkins an hour about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Get in there, you snooty. Knock, knock. Who's there? In the other devil's name? In the other devil's name! Faith! Yes, unequivocator, who could swear on both scales against the scale, who committed treason enough for God's sakes, kaboom, but could not equivocate to heaven! To heaven! Here we go again, he go down. Who knows how to knock, knock. Who's there? Faith. Yes, an English tailor. Come hither for stealing out of French rolls. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. You may roast your goose. Knock, knock! Never at quiet! What are you? But this place is too cold for ale. I'll devil portrait no further. I have thought to have let in some of all professions that go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, I pray you, remember the porter!
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Faith, sir, we were carousing to the second cup. And drink, sir, is a great provoker of free thanks.
And what three things does drink especially provoke?
Marry, sir, nose painting, sleep and urine, littery, sir. It provokes and unprovokes. It provokes the desire, but takes away the performance. Ah, he's taking away the ball. He's not going to be doing it. Therefore, much strength may be said to be an equivocator with lettery. It makes him, and it mars him. It sets him on, and it takes him off. It persuades him, and disheartens him. Makes him stand to, and not stand to. Ah, you be swinging over there. And conclusion, equivocates him in a sleep, and giving him the lie, leaves him.
I believe drink gave thee the lie last night.
That he did, sir. Oh, the very throat on me. But I requited him for his lie, and I was fake, being too strong for him, though he did take up my legs sometimes. Oh, we going this way, we going this way. But I requited him for his lie, yet I made a shift to cast him.
Is thy master stirring? Or knocking as awaked him? Here he comes.
The ones that knocking you, sister, knock, 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 that's what you did.
Good morrow, noble sir.
Good morrow, both.
Is the king stirring, worthy Thane?
Not yet.
He's commanded me to call timely on him. I've almost slipped the hour. I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in, physics pain.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly where we lay. Our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air, strange screams of death, and prophesying with accents terrible of the dire combustion and confused events new hatchet to the woeful time. The obscured bird clamored the lifelong night. Some say the earth was feverish and did shake.
My lord,
'Twas a rough night.
my young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee!
What's the matter?
Confusion hath now made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What is't you say, the life?
Mean you, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new Gorgon. Do not bid me speak. See, and then speak yourselves. Awake! Awake! Ring the alarm bell! Murder and treason! Banquo, Donalbain, Malcolm, awake! Shake off this downy sleep, death's counterfeit, and look on death itself. Up and see the great doom's image. Banquo and Malcolm, as from your graves, rise up and walk like sprites to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
What is the business of such a hideous trumpet would call to parley the sleepers of this house? Speak. Speak.
Oh, gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. Repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murder.
Oh! Alas, what? In our house.
Too cruel anywhere. Dear doth I pray, contradict thyself and say it is not so.
Had I died but an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time. For from this instant, there is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lease is left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Thy royal father's murdered.
By whom?
Those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Oh, yet I do repent me of my fury, that I did kill them.
Wherefore did you so?
Who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, loyal and neutral in a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outran the pauser reason. Here lie Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. There, the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, and their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart, courage to make love known?
My lord, reason before the
Help me, Hips.
The lady!
Why do we hold our tongues? That most may claim this argument for hours?
What should be spoken here in an auger hole where our fate may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrows upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady. And when we have our little prayer pieces, supper and exposure, let us meet and discuss this most bloody piece of work. Fears and scruples shape us, and in the great hand of God I stand against the undivulged pretense of treasonous malice.
As do I.
So,
Let us briefly put on manly readiness and meet to the hall together.
Well contented.
What will you do? Let us not sort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office the false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted. and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let us not be dainty with leave-taking, but shift away. There is warrant in that theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left!
70, I can remember well, within the volumes of which time I've seen hours dreadful and things strange. But this sore night hath trifled former knowings.
Ah, good father, thou seest the heavens as troubled with man's act, threatens his bloody stage. By the clock 'tis day, and yet dark night strangles the traveling lamp.
'Tis unnatural, even like the deed that's done. On Tuesday last, a falcon was by a mousing hour, hucked at and killed.
And Duncan's horses, a thing most strange and certain, beauteous and swift, the minions of their race turned wild in nature, broke their stalls, flung out, contending against obedience as they would make war with mankind.
'Tis said they eat each other.
They did so, to the amazement of mine eyes that looked upon it. Here comes the good Macduff. How goes the world, sir, now?
Why, see you not?
Is known who did this more than bloody deed?
Those that Macbeth hath slain.
Alas, today, what good could they portend?
They were suborned. Malcolm and Donalbain, the king's two sons, have stolen away and fled, which puts upon them suspicion of the deed.
Against nature still. Thriftless ambition that will raven up thine own life's means. Then 'tis most like the sovereignty will fall upon Macbeth.
He's already been named, and gone to Scone to be invested.
Where is Duncan's body?
Carried to Combe Kill, the sacred storehouse of his predecessors and guardian of their bones.
Will you to Scone?
No, cousin. I'll to Fife.
Well, I will thither.
Well, may you see things well done there. Adieu. Lest our old robes sit easier than our new.
Farewell, father.
God's benison go with you, and with those that make good of bad, and friends of foes.
Thou hast it now. Glamis. Cawdor. King. All as the weird sisters promised, and I fear thou placed most foully for it. And yet it was said that I will not stand in thy posterity, but that myself shall be the root and father of many kings, if truth comes from them as upon thee, Macbeth. Their speeches shine. Why? But the verities of thee made good. Should they be my oracles as well, and set me up in hope?
Hail Macbeth, King of Scotland!
But hush! No more.
If it had been forgotten, there is a gap in our great feast, all thing unbecoming.
Tonight we hold a solemn supper, sir, and I'll request your presence.
Let your highness command upon me, to the which my duties are in a most indissoluble tie, forever knit.
Ride you this afternoon?
Aye, my good lord.
Which should have else desired your good advice, which still hath been most brave and prosperous in this day's council. But we'll take tomorrow. Is it far ye ride?
As far, my lord, as will fill up the time. Twist this and supper. Go not to my horse the better. I must be a stealer of the night, for a dark hour or 20.
Fail not our feast.
My lord, I will not.
We hear our bloody cousins are bestowed in England and in Ireland, not confessing their cruel parricide, filling their hearers with strange invention. But of that tomorrow, when therewithal we'll have cause of state craving us jointly. How you to horse, adieu, till you return at night. Goes Fleon with you?
Aye, my sword, the time does cause upon.
I wish your horses swift and sure of foot, and so I do commend you to their backs. Farewell. We will keep ourselves till supper time alone. While then, God be with you. Sirrah, a word with you. Attend those men our pleasure.
They are, my lord, about the palace gate.
Bring them before us. To be thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to that dauntless temper of his mind he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There's none but he whose being I do fear, and under him my genius is rebuked, as 'tis said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like, they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they place a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand. No son of mine succeeding? If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I filed my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them. And mine eternal jewel, given to the common enemy of man, to make them kings, the seeds of Banquo kings. Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance. Who's there? Now go to the door and stay there till we call. Was it not yesterday we spoke together?
It was, so please, your highness.
Well then, now have you considered of my speeches? Know that it was he that in times past, which held you so under fortune, which you had thought had been our innocent self. This I made good to you in our last conference, passed in probation with you, how you were borne in hand, how crossed the instruments, who wrought with them, and all things else that might to half a soul, and to a notion crazed say, thus did Banquo.
You made it known to us.
I did so, and much further, which is now our point of second meeting. Do you find your patience so predominant in your nature that you can let this go? Are you so gospeled to pray for this good man and for his issue, whose heavy hand hath bowed you to the grave and beggared yours forever?
We are men, my liege.
Aye, in the catalogue ye go for men. As hounds, greyhounds, mongrels, spaniels, curs, choughs, water rogues, demi-wolves are clept all by the name of dogs. The valued file distinguishes the swift, the slow, the subtle, the housekeeper, the hunter, everyone according to the gift which bounteous nature hath in him closed, whereby he does receive particular addition from the bill that writes them all alike. And so of men. Now, if you have a station in the file not to the worst rank of manhood, say it. Say it. And I will place that business in your bosoms, whose execution takes your enemy off, grapples you to the heart and love of us, who wear our health but sickly in his life, which in his death were perfect.
I am one, my lord, whom the vile blows and buffets of the world hath so incensed that I am reckless in what I do to spite the world.
And I another, So weary with disaster, tugged with fortune, that I would set my life on any chance to mend it or be ridden it.
Both of you know Banquo was your enemy.
True, my lord.
So is he mine. And in such bloody distance that every minute of his being thrust against my nearest of life. And though I could, with barefaced power, sweep him from my side, yet I must not. For certain friends that are both his and mine, whose loves I may not drop, but wail his fall, who I myself struck down. And this it is that I to your assistance do make love, masking the business from the common eye for sundry weighty reasons.
As you say, my lord, we will perform as you command.
Though our lives...
Your spirits shine through you. Within this hour at most, I would advise you where to plant yourselves. Acquaint you the perfect spy of the time, the moment on it, for it must be done tonight. And something from the palace, always thought that I require a clearness. And with him to leave no rubs nor botches in the work, Phleops, his son, who keeps him company, whose absence is no less material to me than his father's, must embrace the fate of that dark hour. Resolve yourselves apart. I'll come to you anon.
We are resolved, my lord.
I'll call upon you straight. Abide within. It is concluded. Banquo thy soul's flight. If it find heaven, must find it out tonight.
Is Banquo gone from court?
Aye, madam, but returns again tonight.
Say to the king I will attend his leisure for a few words.
Madam, I will.
Naught's had, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with those they think on. Things without our remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scorched the snake, not killed it. She will close and be herself, whilst our poor malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things destroyed, both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we to gain our peace have set to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy! Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy. Nothing can touch him further.
Come on, my lord. Sleek all your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while, that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, making our faces visage to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo in Phleops lives.
But in them nature's copies, not eternal.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, ceiling knight, scoff up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whilst night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still! Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the lated traveler apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us up their foes!
And 'tis he. The rest within the notes of expectation are at the court.
His horses go about.
As all men do from hence to the palace gates. Make it their walk.
A light! A light!
'Tis he.
Stand to it. Let it come down!
Oh, treachery!
Who struck out the light?
There's but one down, but the sun has fled.
Then we have lost best half of our fare.
Well, let's away and see how much is done.
You know your own degree, sinner! And first and last, the hearty welcome.
Thanks to your majesty!
Ourself will mingle with society and play the humble host. Our hostess! Keeps her state, but in best time we will require her welcome.
Pronounce it for me, sir, to all our friends. For my heart speaks. They are welcome.
See? They encountered thee with their hearts, thanks. Both sides are even. Here I'll sit to the midst. Be large in mirth. Anon, we'll drink a measure the table round. There's blood upon thy face.
'Tis Banquo's then.
'Tis better thee without than he within. Is he dispatched?
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet he's good that did the like for Fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the nonpareil.
Most royal sir, Fleance escaped.
Then comes my fit again. I had else been perfect, whole as the marble, founded as the rock, as broad and general as the casing air. But now I'm cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo's safe.
Aye, my good lord.
Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenchant gashes on his head.
So tired
The
of
least
this
a
day.
death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the
me on
grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
My royal lord, you do not give the cheer.
Sweet remembrance, sir! Now, good digestion. Take on appetite. And health on board!
May it please your highness, sit!
Here had we now our country's honor roofed. Were the graced person of our Banquo present, who may I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
Absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please, your highness, to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here.
My lord!
What is it that moves your highness?
Which of you have done this? Done what, my lord? Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me!
Gentles all, good care. His highness is not well.
Your highness, I mean to know.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus and has been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat, if it is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and exceed his passion. Feed and regard not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look on that which might appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, imposters to true fear, would all become a woman's story, told at a winter's fire, authorized by her grandam. Shame itself. Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Prithee. See there! Behold! Look! Lo, how say you?
What is it that moves your highness? Everyone touches it out!
What care I? If thou canst nod, speak to. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
What? Quite unmanned and folly.
If I stand here, I saw him.
For shame.
Blood hath been shed ere now. In the olden time, ere humane statutes purged the gentle will, aye, and since too, murders have been performed, too terrible for the ear. The times have been when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now, they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crown, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My royal lord, your noble friends do lack you.
I do forget. Do not muse at me, most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, love, and health to all. Then I'll sit down. Give me some wine. Fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table, and to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss. Would he were here. To all and him we thirst, and all to all! Abort and quit my sight! Let the earth hide thee! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes that thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other. Only it spoils the pleasures of the tongue.
What man dare I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the hairkin tiger. Take any shape with that, and my firm nerves shall never tremble. Or Be alive and bear me to the desert with thy sword. If trimling I should inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Hence, horrible shadow, unreal mockery! Hence! I say, being gone, I am a man again. Pray you, sit still.
You have displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with the most admired disorder.
Can such things be? And overcast like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when now I think you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheek, when mine is blanched with fear.
What sights, my lord?
I pray you speak not! He grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good health, my lord!
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have by maggot pies, tufts, and rooks brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest thou that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak, for now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst, for mine own good. All causes shall give way. I am in blood, stepped in so far, that should I wade no more. Returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in head that will to hand, which must be acted ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures, sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
You look angrily. Oh, have I not reason, beldams, as you are saucy and ever bold? How did you dare to trade and traffic with Macbeth in the riddles and affairs of death? And the mistress of your charms, the close contriver of all harms, was never called to bear my part. What shall the glory of our art? And which is worse, all that hath been done hath been before a wayward son, spiteful and wrathful, who as others do, loves for his own ends, not for you. But make amends now. Get you gone. And in the pit of Acheron, meet me in the morning. Thither Macbeth will come to know his destiny. Your vessels! Get a vessel. Your spells! Provide. Your charms! I gotta charm me. I am for the air. This night I'll spend until a dismal and fatal end. Great business must be wrought ere noon upon the corner of the moon. There hangs A vapor's dropped profound. I'll catch it ere it's come to ground. And that's distilled by magic's light. So raise us artificial sword! He shall spurn fate, scorn death, and bear his hopes upon wisdom, grace, and fear. And you all know security is mortal's chiefest enemy. Come away. Come away. Come away. My former speeches have but hit your thoughts, which can interpret further. Only I say things have been strangely born. Strangely born, strangely born. The gracious Duncan was pitied of Macbeth. Mary he was dead, and the right valiant Banquo walked too late. Whom you may say, if it please you, Fleance kill!
Fleance did kill him, yes.
For Fleance fled.
Why would he flee if he was innocent?
Men must not walk too late!
Actually, it was Banquo's fault.
Banquo's fault.
Banquo's fault.
Banquo's fault. Banquo's fault. Who cannot want the thought of how monstrous it was for Malcolm and Donald to kill their gracious father? Damned it, fact! 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 For it did grieve Macbeth.
Why would he grieve if he was guilty?
Why would he grieve if he was guilty? Did he not straight in pious rage the two delinquents tear who were slaves of drink and thralls of sleep? Was that not nobly done?
Nobly done, nobly done. Heroic.
Aye. And wisely too. For it would have angered any heart alive to hear the men deny it. So that I say, Macbeth has borne all things well.
Blinded cat hath mewed. Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Dear Christ, 'tis time, 'tis time!
Oh, that makes not.
Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad, that under cold stone days and nights hath 31. Sweat-lit venom, sleeping goth, boiled out first in the torment pot. Double, double, silent trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble.
Fillet of a penny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing, for a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble.
Scale of dragon, the wolf,
Witch's mummy,
maw and gulp of the robin salt sea shark, the root of hemlock digged in the dark,
gall of goat and slips of you,
silvered in the moon's eclipse, finger of the birth strangled babe,
ditch delivered by a drum.
Make the cruel thick and swell,
and thereto a tiger chaudron for all the ingredients of our cauldron.
pains, and everyone shall share his gains. And now, about the cauldron sing, like elves and fairies in a ring, enchanting all that you put in. Black spirits and white, red spirits and gray, mingle, 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 you that mingle may. Tidy Tiffin, keep it stiffin. Fire Drake, turkey, make it lucky.
By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, however you come to know it. Answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though bladed corn be lodged and trees blown down, though castles topple on their warders' heads, though palaces and pyramids slope their heads to their foundations, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer. Say if thou'st rather hear it from our mouths or our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Pour in Sal's blood that hath eaten her 9th pharaoh. Grease, sweating from the murderer's gibbet, throw into the flame. Come high or low, thyself in office deftly show.
Tell me, thou unknown power.
He knows thy thought! Hear his speech, but say thou not!
Beware, Macduff. Beware the Thane of Five. Dismiss me enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution, thanks. Thou hast harped my fear aright. But one word
He will
more.
not be commanded! Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth.
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Love to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? But I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate. Thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounden top of sovereignty?
Listen, but speak not to it.
Be lion mounted proud, and take no care who chaves, who frets, or where conspires are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until a great Birnam wood to high Duncan hill shall come against him.
That will never be. Who can impress the forest, bid the tree unfix his earthbound root? Sweet Bodemuth's good, rebellious dead, rise never till the wood of Burnham rise, and our high placed Macbeth shall live the lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. Yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if thou art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no more.
I will be satisfied. Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall on you. Let me know why sinks that cauldron, and what noise is this?
Show his eyes and grieve his heart. Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art too like the spirit of Banquo. Down. Thy crown does sear mine eyeballs, and thy hair, thou other gold-bound brow, is like the first, a third is like the former. Filthy hags, why do you show me this? A fourth, star ties? What? Will this line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet, a seventh. I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears that bears a glass which shows me many more. And some I see with twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight. Now I see 'tis true, for the blood-bolted Banquo smiles upon me and points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, sir. All this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazingly? Come, sisters, cheer we up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to make a sound, while you perform your antique round. That this great king may kindly say, our duties did his well.
Where are they? Gone? Let this pernicious hour stand I accursed in the calendar. Come in without there.
What is your grace's will?
Saw you the weird sisters?
No, my lord.
Came they not by you?
No, indeed, my lord.
Infected be the air whereon they ride, and damned all those that trust them. I did hear the galloping of horses. Who was it came by?
'Tis 2 or 3 to bring you the word. Macduff has fled to England.
Fled to England?
Aye, my lord.
Time thou anticipatest my dread exploits. The flighty purpose is never o'ertook unless the deed go with it. From this moment, the very first things of my heart shall be the first things of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with that, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise. Seize upon Fife, give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line. No boasting like a fool. This deed I'll do before this purpose cool. But no more sights! Where are these gentlemen? Come, bring me where they are.
What had he done to make him fly the land?
You must have patience, madam.
He had none. His flight was madness. When our actions do not, our fears do make us traitors.
You know not whether it was his wisdom or his fear.
Wisdom? To leave his wife, to leave his babes, his mansion, and his titles in a place from whence himself does fly? He loves us not. He wants the natural touch. For the most diminutive of birds will fight.
her young ones in her nest against the owl. All is the fear, and nothing is the love. As little is the wisdom, where the flight so runs against all reason.
My dearest cuz, I pray you, school yourself. But for your husband, he is noble, wise, judicious, and best knows the fits of the season. I dare not say much further, but cruel are the times when we are traitors and do not know ourselves. When we hold rumor from what we fear, yet know not what we fear, but float upon a wild and violent sea each way and move. I take my leave of you. Shall not be long, but I'll be here again. Things at worst will cease, or else climb upward to what they were before. My prettiest cousin, blessing upon you.
Fathered he is, and yet he is fatherless.
I am so much a fool. Should I stay any longer, it would be my disgrace and your discomfort. I take my leave at once.
Sirrah, your father is dead. And what will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
And yet I faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men. Poor prattler, how thou talk'st.
Where is your husband?
What are these faces?
Where is your husband?
I hope in no place and so unsanctified where such as thou mayest find him.
He's a traitor.
Thou liest, thou stag, hell, villain.
What, you egg? Young fry of treachery?
He has killed me, Mother. Run away, I pray you.
Let us seek out some desolate shade, and there weep our sad bosoms empty.
Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword, and like good men, bestride our downfall birthdom. Each new morn, new widows howl, new orphans cry, new sorrows strike heaven on the face, that it resounds as if it felt with Scotland, and yelled out like syllable of dolor.
What I believe, I'll wail. What no, believe. And what I can redress, is I shall find time to friend, I will. What you have spoke, it may be so, perchance. This tyrant, whose sole name blisters our tongues, was once thought honest. You have loved him well. He hath not touched you yet. I am young, and something you may discern of him through me and wisdom, to offer up a weak, poor, innocent lamb to appease an angry God.
I am not treacherous.
But Macbeth is. A good and virtuous nature may recoil in an imperial charge, but I shall crave your pardon. What you are, my thoughts cannot transpose. Angels are bright still, though the brightest fell. Though all things fall would wear the brow of grace, yet grace must still look so.
I've lost my hopes.
Perchance even there where I did find my doubts. Why in that rawness left you wife and child, those precious motives, those strong knots of love, without leave-taking? I pray, let not my jealousies be your dishonors, but mine own safeties. You may be rightly just, whatever I shall think.
Bleed. Bleed, poor country. Great tyranny, lay thou thy bases shore, for goodness dare not check thee. Wear thou thy wrongs. The title is afeard. Fare thee well, Lord. I wouldn't be the villain that thou think'st, for the whole space in the tyrant's grasp, and the rich east to boot.
Be not offended. I speak not as in absolute fear of you. I think our country sinks beneath the yoke. It weeps, it bleeds, and each new day a gash is added to her wounds. I think withal there would be hands uplifted in my right, and here, from gracious England, have I offer of goodly thousands. But for all this, when I shall tread upon the tyrant's head, or wear it on my sword, yet my poor country shall have more vices than it had before, more suffer in more sundry ways than ever, by him who shall succeed.
What should he be?
It is myself, I mean, in whom I know all the particulars of a vice, so grafted, that when they shall be opened, black Macbeth will seem as pure as snow, and the poor state esteem him a lamb, being compared to my confineless harms.
Not in the legions of horrid hell can come a devil more damned in evils to top Macbeth.
I grant him bloody, luxurious, avaricious, false, malicious, sudden, deceitful, smacking of every sin that has a name. But there is no bottom, none in my voluptuousness. Your wives, your daughters, your matrons, and your maids could not fill up the cisterns of my lust. And my desire, all continents impediments, would all bear those that did oppose my will. Better Macbeth than such an one to reign.
Boundless intemperance in nature is a tyranny. It hath been the untimely emptying of the happy throne and fall of many kings. But fear not yet to take upon you what is yours. You may convey your pleasures in a spacious plenty, and yet still seem cold. The time you may so hoodwink. We have willing dames enough. There cannot be that vulture in you to devour so many as will to greatness dedicate themselves, with finding it so inclined.
With this, there grows in my most ill-composed affection such a staunchless avarice that were I king, I should cut off the nobles for their lands, desire his jewel, and this other's house. And my more havings would be as a sauce to make me hunger more, that I should forge quarrels unjust against the good and loyal, destroying them for wealth.
This avarice sticks deeper, grows with more pernicious root than summer seeming lust, and hath been the sword of our slain kings. Yet, fear not. Scotland hath foisions to fill up your will of your mere own. All these are portable, with other graces weighed.
But I have none. The king's becoming graces as justice, verity, temperance, stableness, bounty, perseverance, mercy, lowliness, devotion, patience, courage, fortitude. I have no relish of them, but abound in the division of each several crime, acting in many ways. And had I power, I should pour the sweet milk of concord into hell, uproar the universal peace, confound all unity on earth.
Oh, Scotland, Scotland!
If such a one be fit to govern, speak. I am as I have spoken.
Fit to govern? No, not to live! Thou nation miserable, with an untitled tyrant bloody sceptered, when shalt thou see thy wholesome days again, since that the truest issue of thy throne by his own interdiction stands accursed, and does blaspheme his breed? Thy royal father was a most sainted king. The queen that bore thee oftener upon her knees than her feet died every day she lived. Fare thee well. These evils that thou repeatst upon thyself have banished me from Scotland. Oh, my breast. Thy hope ends here.
Macduff, this noble passion, child of integrity, hath from my soul wiped the black scruples, reconciled my thoughts to thy good truth and honor. Devilish Macbeth, by many of these trains hath sought to win me into his power, and modest wisdom plucks me from overcredulous haste. But God above deal between thee and me. For even now I put myself in thy direction, and unspeak mine own detraction. Here, abjure the taints and blames I laid upon myself for strangers to my nature. I am yet unknown to women, never was forsworn, scarcely have coveted what was mine own, at no point broke my faith, would not betray the devil to his fellow, and delight no less in truth than life. My first false speakings was this upon myself: what I am truly is thine, and mine poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old seaward with 10,000 warlike men, already at point was setting forth. Now we'll together, in the chance of goodness, be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
Well, here's more anon. Comes the king forth, I pray you?
Aye, sir. There is a crew of wretched souls that stay her cure. Her malady convinces the great essay of art, but by her touch, such sanctity hath heaven given her hand, they presently amend.
Thank you, Father.
What's the disease he means?
'Tis called the evil. A most miraculous work, this good queen, which often since my here remain in England, I have seen her do. How she solicits heaven, herself best knows. But strangely visited people, all swollen and ulcerous, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery, she cures, hanging golden stamps about their necks, put on with holy prayers, and 'tis spoken to the seceding royalty, she leaves the healing benediction. With this strange virtue, sundry blessings hang about her throne that speak her full of grace.
Look who comes here.
My countryman, yet I know him not.
Ever gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, betimes remove the means that make us strangers.
Amen.
Stand Scotland where it did.
Alas, poor country. Almost afraid to know itself. It cannot be called our mother, but our grave, where nothing but who knows nothing is once seen to smile, where sighs and groans and shrieks that rend the air are made, not marked, where violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there, scarce asked for who, and good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, nature too gentle, and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant has not battered
No,
up their peace?
they were well at peace when I did leave them.
Be not a hoarder of your speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my belief witnessed the rather, for that I saw the tyrant's power afoot. Now is the time of help. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort. We are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us old Seaward and 10,000 men, an older and better soldier, none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with the like. But I have words that would be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
What concern they? The general cause? Or is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it shares some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
If it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
Guess at it.
Your castle is surprise. Your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner whereon the quarry of these murdered deer to add the death of you.
What, man? Give sorrow words. The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart in bidded break.
My children too?
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let's make us medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children.
Oh, my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, well, guide all?
Want all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop?
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so, but I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macduff, they were struck for thee. Not that I am, not for their demerits, but for mine. Fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Be this the whetstone to your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart. Enrage it!
Oh, I can play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue, but gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front, bring thou this fiend of Scotland and myself, and within my sword's length set him on. If he escape, heaven forgive him too.
This time goes manly. Come, go we to the king. Our power is ready. Our lacking is nothing but our leave. Macbeth is ripe for shaking, and the powers above put on their instruments. Receive what cheer you may. The night is long that never finds the day. Ah!
I have 2 nights watched with you, but can perceive no truth in your report. When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I've seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, take forth paper, fold it, write upon it, afterwards seal it, yet again return to bed. And all this in the most vast sleep.
A great perturbation in nature, to receive at once the benefits of sleep and to do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
That, sir, which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witnesses to confirm my speech. Lo, you, here she comes.
Oh.
This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast, asleep. Observe her and stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She is light by her continually, 'tis her command.
You see her eyes are open.
Aye, but her senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
This is an accustomed action with her. To seem thus washing her hands, I've known her to continue this in a quarter of an hour. Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, damned spot. Out, I say. 1, 2. Well, then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord. Fie, a soldier and a feared. What need we fear? Who knows it with none can call our power into account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane Fife had a wife. Where is she now? Will ne'er these hands be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You are all with your starting.
Go to, go to. You know what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not. I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she's known.
Here is the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten these little hands. Oh.
The sigh is there. The heart is sorely torn.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be, sir.
This disease is beyond my practice, and yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their bed.
Wash your hands. Get on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out one's grave. To bed, to bed. I hear a knocking at the south gate. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed, to bed. To bed, 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 to bed.
Will she go now to bed?
Directly.
Foul whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. The infected mind to a death pillow will discharge their secrets. She needs more, the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her, and remove from her the means of all annoyance. But still, keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind, she's mated and amazed my sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bring me no more reports. Let them fly all, till Burnham Wood remove to Dunsinane. I cannot taint with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born of woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall ever have power upon thee. Then fly, false stains, and mingle with the English epicures. The mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, shall never sag with doubt, nor shake with fear. The devil damn thee back, thou cream-faced loon. Where goest thou, that goose look?
There is 10,000.
Geese, villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face over red thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers, Patch? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counselors to fear. What soldiers, Wayface?
The English force, so please you.
Take thy face hence! Satan! I am sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever, or deceit me now. I've lived long enough. My way of life has fallen into the sear, the yellow leaf, and that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends. I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses not loud but deep, mouth honor, breath which the poor heart would fain deny and dare not. Satan!
'Tis your gracious pleasure.
What news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
I'll fight till from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Send out more horses, scare the country round, and hang those that talk of fear. Bring me my armor! How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fantasies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet, oblivious antidote, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart.
They're within the patient, must minister to themselves.
Throw physics to the dogs, all none of it. Come, put mine armor on. Satan, send out, doctor. The things fly from me. Come, sir, dispatch, if thou couldst, doctor. cast the water of my land, find her disease, purge it into a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that should applaud again. Pull it off, I say! What rhubarb, cinna, or purgative drug would scour these English hints? Hearest thou of them?
Your reputation makes me hear of something.
Bring it after me. I will not fear of death in vain, till Burnham Forest come to Duncan! Ah!
Cousins, I would the days were near at hand that Chambers would be safe.
We doubted nothing.
What wood is this before us?
Let every soldier hew him down a bough and bear it before him. Thereby shall we shadow the numbers of our host and make discovery heir in report of us.
We learn no other, but the confident tyrant keeps still in Dunsinane, and will endure setting down before it.
'Tis his main hope, where there is advantage to be given, both more and less have given him the revolt, and none serve with him, but constrained things, whose hearts are absent too.
Let our just censors attend the true event, and put we on industrious soldiership.
Ah! The time approaches that will with due decision make us know what we shall say we have and what we owe. Thoughts speculative their unsure hopes relate, but certain issue strokes must arbitrate.
Advance the war.
Hang out our banners on the outward walls. The cry is still, they come! Our castle's strength will laugh a siege to scorn. Here, let them lie, till famine and the ague eat them up. Were they not forced with those that should be ours, we might have met them dareful, beard to beard, and beat them backward home! What is that noise?
'Tis the cry of women, my good lord.
I have almost forgot the taste of fear. The times have been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night shriek, and my veil of hair would at a dismal treatise rouse and stir, as life were in it. I have supped, full of horrors, direness familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once start me. Wherefore was that cry?
The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life is but a walking shadow, a poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage, and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Gracious my lord, I shall report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
Well, say, sir!
As I did stand upon my watch upon the hill, I looked toward Bernan and Anon. Methought the wood began to move.
Liar and slave.
Let me enjoy your wealth if it be not so. Within this 3 mile, you may see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakest false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee. If thy speech be sooth, I care not if thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like the truth. Fear not, till Burnham Wood do come to Dunsinane. And now, a wood comes toward Dunsinane. Arm it out! If this, which he avouches, does appear, then there's no flying hence, no tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun, and wish the estates of the world were now undone. Ring the alarm bell! Blow wind, come rack! At least we'll die with harness on our backs! Yeah!
Now, near enough. Your leafy screens throw down. Show like those you are. You, worthy uncle, shall lead our first battle. Worthy Macduff and we shall take upon what else remains according to our order.
Fare you well. Do we but find the tyrant's power tonight, let us be beaten if we cannot fight.
Let all our trumpets speak. Give them breath. These clamorous harbingers of blood and death! Ah!
They have tied me to a stake. I cannot fly, but bear-like I must fight the course. What's he that was not born of woman? Such a one am I to fear, or none?
What is thy name?
Thou'lt be afraid to hear it.
No, though thou callest thyself a hotter name than any is in hell.
My name's Macbeth.
The devil himself could not pronounce a title more hateful to mine ear.
No, no more fearful.
Thou liest. Abhorred tyrant, with my sword I'll prove the lie thou speakst.
Thou wast born of woman, but swords I smile at, weapons laughed to scorn, brandished by man that's of a woman born.
Tyrant! If thou beest slain, and by no sword of mine, my wife and children's ghost will haunt me still. I cannot strike at wretched kerns whose arms are hired to bear their stave. Either thou, Macbeth, or else my sword with an unbattered edge I sheathe again undeeded. There thou shouldst be. By this great clatter, one of greater note seems bruited. Let me find him, fortune, and more I beg not.
We've met with foes that strike beside us.
Enter, sir, the castle.
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Lest I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Bloodier villain thou, the terms can give thee out!
Thou losest labor. As easy mayest thou the intrenchant heir with thy keen staff and press, as make me bleed. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born.
Spare thy charm, and let the angel that thou still serves tell thee, Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely reft.
tells me so. For it hath cowed my better part of man, and be these juggling fiends no more believed, that potter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ears, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
And yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rare remonstrances are, painted upon a pole, and under it, here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rebels cursed. Though Burnham would be come to Duncan, and though opposed, being a woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body, I throw my warlike shield. Lay on, Macduff, and damned be him who first cries, "Hold! Enough!"
I would the friends we miss were safe arrived.
Some must go off, and yet by these I see so great a day as this is cheaply bought.
Macduff is missing, and so God be with him.
Hail, King! For so thou art! Behold where stands the usurper's cursed head! Huzzah! Time is free! Huzzah! I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland!
We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves to make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honor has named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with time, is calling home our exiled friends abroad, who fled the watchful snares of tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and his fiend-like wife, who, as 'tis thought, by self in violent hands, took off her life. This, and what's needful else that calls upon us, by the grace of grace, we shall perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.